What's up, Devils? You know what time it is? 6 a.m. You see J-Dog on the screen? You know what the fuck that means. It's question time, god damn it. And today's questions, we're going over Raw Dog again. I did pull up the video to see where I was off. And the first video in line next is Hellhammer really better than Apocalyptic Raids. Oh, I'm kind of looking forward to this one because I remember doing this one and possible scuttlebutt in there. So we'll see. 777 views, so not great, but not awesome, that's for sure. Comment 65. Let's see what the fuck we got in there, bros. Do some fucking digging. Get your shovels. Let's do some fucking digging. 6 feet fucking deep, right? From Imperial Nocturnal, I see a question mark, but it's kind of a book. I'm seeing Toxic Holocaust. I'm seeing Gospel of Horns. I'm seeing Sarcophago. I'm seeing In the Shadows, presumably talking about Merciful Fate. It looks like we got some good shit in here to talk about, and Imperial Nocturnal comments all the motherfucking time, so let's see what the fuck he has to say. I did see a question mark in there, too. Yo, Justin, thanks for answering my goddamn question. That's what I'm here for, brah. And for all the honesty you display in your opinions. Always honest. Just a straight fucking shooter. So if you like the answers, cool. If not, no, hey, like they say, opinions are like assholes. We all have them, right? We're not all meant to be a bunch of robots and agree on shit. That's what's cool. We're all supposed to be different individuals, you know? So, yeah, just give it like it is. I said Sodom because I like them a lot more than Toxic Holocaust, period. Yeah, I can understand that. I totally get it. And let's get something straight. I do like Toxic Holocaust, too. I mean, I do like Sodom as well. I said Sodom were on another league because they've been a huge influence for South American bands like Sarcophago and for Aussie bands like Gospel of Horns. Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny? I knew that, but I never really thought about it. Every time I think of Sodom being an influence, I'm kind of always thinking of like more of the German bands that sounded like, you know, the creators of Sodom Destruction, but like a little bit afterwards. I never thought of like the South American and even especially Australia, like Gospel of Horns. And you're like, yeah, I guess Sodom would be a fucking big influence. Not, I mean, I knew those bands like Sodom, don't be wrong, but it just, yeah, it didn't cross me that way. You know, it may because a lot of them were years later too. But yeah, totally makes sense. Where the fuck to leave off, goddammit? Yeah, like I said, it's a book in here. Toxic Holocaust never did it for me. I like Evil Never Dies, but Hell on Earth has been my personal definition of a snooze since I first heard it when it came out. Flat and uninspired. Just a matter of taste. You know, it's funny because Hell on Earth, I remember when that first did come out, I did like it. I liked it at first. I didn't like it as much. The only thing I kind of didn't like was, I don't want to say I didn't like it. I just thought the cover art was, you know, since a replica, it was too reminiscent of his other stuff, which was kind of just a different feel than the Evil Never Dies, which is a minor complaint. Has nothing to do with the music, obviously. But the album was short and to the point. And no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely didn't like it as much, but I thought it was. I definitely liked it. But it's funny. I think another thing that just crossed my mind. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, so I remember when that came out. I remember other people like maybe like Dawn of the Dead and shit. Like he didn't like it. I could be mistaken on that, but other guys were saying I don't really like it, but they liked Evil Never Dies. But I did like it. But Evil Never Dies to this day is not only my favorite Toxic Holocaust. That is definitely one of my. I'll just gonna say it is one of my favorite albums of all time for sure. It's not my top 10, but in my top 30, 40 for sure. And I absolutely give that a fucking 10. But I don't agree with the snooze fest. Because to me, when I think of snooze fest, for me personally, snooze fest to me is a lot of like the doom shit, like Autopsy, Mental Funeral, Paradise Lost, a lot of stuff like that, where it's just, and I know sometimes they prefer the slower shit stuff. I get it, but to me, that's snooze fest because it's so slow and droning. I'm like, I'm just getting sleepy, like literally sleepy. Okay, yeah, Dario. Just a matter of taste, I guess. Regarding Merciful Fate's post reunion albums. Oh yeah, I remember talking about that. Didn't realize it was the same video though. I also like the ones I listened to first when I was 13 to 14. That's what I heard. Merciful Fate King Diamond was around age 13 to 14, which were In the Shadows and Time. Into the Unknown is my least favorite too. Yeah, I'm only a 41-year-old dunk. Yeah, so you're 4 years older than me. Question: which one do you like more, Evil Army or Toxic Holocaust? For me, again, Toxic Holocaust, but although I like Evil Army a lot, and I like everything about Evil Army as well. So I like everything about Toxic Holocaust, and I like everything about Evil Army, but Toxic would be kind of an easy win, just because Evil Army is kind of dicking around, in my opinion. I mean, they got one full length, And let's call it like it is. That's not even really a full length. I mean, it's like what 26 minutes or something. Great fucking disc, but not even technically a full length. I mean, kind of a full length, like kind of like as you say, Slayer, Rain and Blood. It's just under 30 minutes, but still, most people don't consider that a full length. But I will throw it in. There's a full length, so I got one full length and some EPs. So kind of dicking around, in my opinion. So Toxic got what 5, 6 full lengths, something like that, maybe 7 even. We Devils want more, J Dog. Yesterday was a weird day for me. What the fuck? Oh, I think that was when that video went up late. I just got used to watching your videos while working out first thing in the morning. Cheers, bro. Yeah, sorry about that. Fucking YouTube fucked me. But nonetheless, I always check at least a few hours later to see how the videos do. Like, not do, but like they posted for that reason. Because I've always, ever since I made my first videos, like, did it go up? Did it go up? Like, because I didn't know how this shit works. So every day I at least check, and I check as people commenting, just so in case something like, I don't know, if somebody was like super offended or pissed, or if there was like some type of emergency question that needed to be answered. I don't know what the fuck could possibly emergency on my shit. But you know what I mean? Just to make sure everything. And so nonetheless, if that ever happens again where a video doesn't go up, it's delayed, it'll go up that day. I'll be like, I'll sit down and getting this fucking thing up, motherfuckers. You know, making sure this is going up. Where the fuck do we get next? Comments, but seeing questions. Obviously, a lot of people just saying that Hellhammer's the shit, which I was never saying that they're not. He's saying Ricky Jones. Question: have you watched the Robin Williams and Edward Norton movie Death to Smoochie? I've never even heard of it. I think it's one of the best movies of all time. Norton is my favorite actor. Never even heard of it. I know who Robin Williams is, obviously, and I've seen several of his movies, but never even heard of that one. But I want to read it off because one of the best movies of all time, huh? Fuck, sounds like I got to see it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, another guy comment. Yeah, it was Ricky. Said he was getting shit and bricks. We didn't see the video go up at 6 a.m. Got another book here from Imperial Nocturno. So I already read one book, so I'll keep it to one book per video at most. But he does have a question. What are your thoughts on Niflheim, Destroyer 666, and Disaster? I've definitely mentioned all those bands. I'm a huge fan. Niflheim, first Niflheim. I think that's definitely a 10. Without a doubt, one of my all-time favorite black metal albums ever. Second album, it's good. I like it. I own an LP. That's didn't even need a CD. Like, for example, on Niflheim, I have an LP and a CD. And for years, I fucking been saying, I don't know what the fuck anyone's doing. There needs to be a 12-inch picture of that. 12-inch picture disc of that. Need that in the fucking wall, goddammit. But the second album was good enough, just on LP. Third one, it's been years since I listened. I remember it being really kind of like, what's his face, what the beginning was saying about Hell on Earth, just tame and boring. That's kind of what I thought about the third Niflheim. Again, it's been a long time since I heard it. I was just like, it's just really flat, tame, and just wimpy compared to the first one. Where's that fucking aggression? Just felt like it lacked that. Not a shitty album, not like this blows, just really lacking. And then I remember the comeback album, I listened to it, and I'm like, I mean, it's kind of entertaining. I was like, but again, just wimpy compared to the first album. But I was surprised at why the guys cut the image and that it was a solid album. So, because a lot, comeback album, I expected just to be complete fucking garbage because that's usually the way it is. I was surprised that it wasn't a complete turd. But so everything's respectable by Niflheim, but nothing compares to the first album. Like, it's not even close in my opinion. And then who'd you else? Destroy 666. That's definitely my favorite band to come out of Australia. Australian Antichrist. Unchained the Wolves. I'd have to say that is probably my favorite album to come out of Australia as a full length album. Just whenever off the top of my head, when everybody asks, that's the first one pops in mind, and I'm pretty sure that would be my favorite Australian album of all time. Pretty much, for years, I always said I like everything by Destroyer 666. The last full length they did, though, I wasn't big on. I did like a couple songs. I think I liked like 2 to 3 songs off it. For the most part, there was parts where I'm like, I don't like this at all. And then there was other parts where I'm kind of like, it's okay. But a few songs I did like. Prior to that, I did like everything. I was a big fan of everything. And then Disaster, I am a fan of everything. Now, the last 3 albums for basically everything after Angel Whore, I'm a little hazy. I think I own at least a CD or an LP, a version of every album after Angel Horror, but I don't know it. No, it's kind of like like Satan Soldier Syndicate. Like I put it on, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this song. It's kind of all new, and then Satan Soldier Syndicate. What's the other ones? I'm drawing a blank on the names, but I own something by them. Always enjoy them. But Angel Horror Down, like I know very, like if I walked in any one room, if someone didn't tell me they were playing Disaster, if they're playing anything from Angel Horror Down, I would know what we're listening to. Oh, what Disaster's on. I'd probably be able to recognize the songs, probably be able to tell you which album we're on. But after that, I couldn't. I would know we're listening to Disaster and I like it, but I'd be a little hazy what album it is. But by Disaster, every album is good in my book. Not a turd in the catalog. Questions, devils. Where the fuck are they at? I'm hunting them down. There's only 65 comments, so we're getting to the bottom here. So, from Nate Beltran. Sup, J Dog? When is the last time you gave Niles Annihilation of the Wicked album a serious listen? It shouldn't be in the forgotten Metal pile. I'm trying to think. Do I have that LP sitting right over there? Yeah, I do have. This is sitting right at the bottom of the. Because I definitely own just an LP of it, not a CD. It's last time. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anything after that. To be honest with you. But yeah, I'll put it on the Bucking playlist again. Like sometimes when I pull what I do is shit like this when I'm like, fuck, I haven't listened to this forever, and I'm like somebody brought it up or whatever. I do this for LPs too, and if I know I'm not gonna don't know when I'm gonna listen to something next as far as if I have a pile of stuff I want to pre-listen to, I'll do something like this. Is that show? See, like I'll pull it out a little bit to where it's just kind of sticking out. That way I'll know to get to it. Like whether it be a week from now, 2 weeks, whatever. If I know I'm like, hey, I got a pile of something I'm going to listen to, now listen to this next, and I want to listen. It's been years. I'll do that. So maybe I'll do that after this. I'll do that with the Nile LP. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't think it sucked, obviously, because I didn't get rid of it. If I would have thought it was a turd, I would have fucking just sold it and got rid of it at the time. And I still have it. I can see it's the big fucking orange spine. So I can, liked it enough for that reason. David Lane, Behemoth is another band that I completely lost all interest in. Nergal going off and doing that country music stuff. I didn't even know he did country. Checking out with fucking Jeff Walker, Bill Steer, and fucking Dave from fucking Morbid Angel. Didn't know that. That and the fact that he seemed to become a more commercialized band almost overnight at one point. I did notice that too. Yeah, it did seem like they became commercialized pretty much overnight. Made me lose complete interest in them. What's your opinion on that? I pretty much share the exact same opinion. The last album that I liked by Behemoth was the Thelema .6, and even that, it's getting like really polished and total professional studio. I mean, Satanica was too. Satanica is probably my favorite album though. Granted, it's the first Behemoth I heard. Then all the black metal ones down and stuff, Pandemonic Incantations and the Savan Storming to near Baltic or however the fuck you pronounce it. That shit's all fucking great. The last one I know it pretty well. I don't even think I kept one or own it all. Is the Zois Kaya Cultus or whatever? To me, it just sounded like I was like, this sounds like Morbid Angel Gateways to Annihilation. Like, why? Like, Behemoth started off as a black metal band. Then it was kind of like a Black Death mix, which I really liked that. Now it's what the fuck you're playing later, Morbid Angel, which quite frankly was a crappier Morbid Angel album. Like, I don't get it. Like, what's going on? I put it on every now and then, and every time I'm like, there are parts I like. I will admit, there are parts that I think are cool riffs, and like that I do enjoy. But for the most part, I think I didn't buy it. Let's put it that way. And then everything after that, I didn't even care to listen to. Seeing them and shit, yeah, they're in all these costumes and shit, which they do kind of look cool live. Last time I saw them live, they opened up for Cannibal Corpse. I think it was when Cannibal Corpse was touring for a Skeletal Domain. I think it was for that tour. Maybe it was Torture. I think it was a Skeletal Domain. Thought they looked cool live. Almost all the songs they played, I didn't recognize any of them. And it's just kind of like, just different band. I mean, but I didn't think it was like, I didn't think it was in the trash pile. Just kind of like, what did you say? Lost it. Yeah, just lost interest. Didn't kind of care. It's like just a different band that I'm like, heard these songs live. Didn't do much for me. Old shit though I fucking love it. Early Behemoth, So what is that? First 4 or 5 albums? Like I said, Paloma Point Six Down, whatever that is, the fourth or fifth album, something around there. Depends if you count like Grom and shit, EPs, like if you count all that. I think all that stuff's great. Big fan of that. J Dog, would you consider doing a live stream on YouTube where you just clear out the backlog of questions? Good idea, man. And shout out to everything you say. J104. That's from. Yeah, that's a good idea. Wish I knew how to do a live stream though. Don't know how to do it. But technically, like it'd be no different than what you see here because I don't ed, like I don't know if you've seen J104. Like literally, I hit record on my laptop and whatever I say. That's why when you see me scrolling through questions, I'm like, I'm not sitting there editing shit. I ain't got time for that. I'm actually struggling now, so you guys know I do record a bunch of videos in advance. But in my week to week, I am kind of struggling to get it to where I have a video for you every day. I'm already struggling to do that, to be honest with you. I'll be able to do it. I'll make it work. Because worst case scenario, I just won't go to bed. I'll record a quick 20 minutes. That's another reason I'm trying to keep it around the 20-minute mark too. Kind of keep it on the 30 because if I record 5 videos or whatever in one day, let's say, for a backlog of a week, if it's shaved off 10 minutes, that's 50 minutes right there. It saves me. It makes it easier because I have other, obviously, responsibilities to do. This is just a side fucking hobby that I'm doing. So, anyways, answer your question. Don't know how to do the live stream thing. And as far as the backlog, you would literally just be watching it in real time. But it'd be exactly the same because I don't even know how to fucking edit. I still kind of, I want to know because one of our employees, our receiving girl, like she sent me some software and stuff. And I was confused to shit how to do it, and I keep saying I need to look at it. But part of me is like, look, man, you're already struggling to even get the fucking videos done. Are you gonna have time to edit? Because I already know where I'm gonna lose. I'm like, I don't got time for this crap. But there is sometimes like I have some photos and shit, like whether it be on my phone or something. If I want to pop something up, I want to learn how to do that. But I'm not getting just too big for my britches because I don't want to. My main goal is just to have a video for you every day. I think that's the most important. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing. Well, that's not true. That's not how the algorithm and all this other bullshit works. That's what works in my mind. When YouTube channels that I follow and shit, and if I want to watch something, I was like, I want a new video every day. And that's the only way I could do it. If it's getting all complicated and I'm getting all this stupid ass technology and all that, I'm just not gonna be able to keep it. There's no way I'm gonna keep up with it. So good idea for that. But like I said, it'll literally look no different than what you're looking at than I do for all the other videos. Layla Lover 90. Any thoughts on the band Flayed Disciple? I've never even heard of them. So you sent their 2020 to Hellcast. Maybe Reaper played it then. It doesn't ring a bell. Was I on that? Did he play it? Was I on that episode? Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell though at all. No. All right, here we go. We can probably make this the last one from Gorehound. J-Dog, you say modern death metal does nothing for you as it's not as good as old death metal. Don't think I ever said that. The classics. I'd say the classics are better in general, but modern stuff, there's tons of great modern shit out there, so I never said modern sucks and fucking only good is in the hood. But when people say the same with thrash or first wave black metal and first wave worship, you say it's because it's first. No, that's not what I said. Well, kind of what I said, but by the same ideology, shouldn't you be giving more modern death metal more of a chance and take away them goggle? All love though, awesome videos as always. No, I get exactly what you're saying. You're 100% right. But the thing is I'm just calling, and I say that for myself. Like for example, why is Hellhammer better than Apocalypse Grace? It's only there because it was first. That's what people are saying. And I've clearly always said that. The reason I like a lot of stuff that I like the most, like Impaled, for example. Let's call look this Impaled. When this came out and stuff, guys that are already in this in the 80s that picked up Carcass and shit and General Surgery, in 88, 89, 90, that type of stuff, they probably heard Impaled and they're already, let's say they're 35 at that time. They're like, it's okay. As opposed to when I heard it, I was 15 years old. Thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I'm in the same fucking category. So it's the stuff that I grew up on first. But as we're now, because even it's funny because when I got into it, some of the younger devils watching this, I'm kind of in the category of kind of an older guy in a sense in the metal scene to some of these guys, the 18-year-olds and shit watching, which I find that hilarious because when I got in this, I thought I was a newbie, total fucking newbie, like getting this in the late 90s. Because a lot of the guys I was talking to and already hanging around with it shows and shit, they're already in it since the 80s, since the beginning. So even myself being late to the game, it's now years and years later. Everything's already been done, so everything's even more rehashed now. So I think there's great new bands that come out that are just as good as the old bands and stuff like that. It's just, but a lot of times now everything's been so where it's like Jesus fucking Christ, this again. And again, there's nothing wrong with this. Again, you could do it again, but you have the biggest recommendation I'd give to any band, and in case you happen to give a fuck, because my opinions doesn't mean shit at the end of the day when it comes to anything, because I'm not even a musician, is you have to write really standout songs. Like, I would be discarding anything that does not stand out. Like if it's just like, yeah, this is pretty good, but it's just, especially when it comes to death metal, I would really look for things like really catchy standout riffs to where it's like, it's very memorable on the first listen. Awesome fucking guitar solos, a really cool fucking vocal that you kind of like, maybe not original, but it just sounds really cool, whether you fucking the way it's recorded or something that's going to stand out and really capture the attention. Because otherwise, if it's just another band that sounds like Swedish death metal or fucking another Suffocation or something, it's like this, why do I need this? Like it's the same goddamn thing. But again, if it sounds like it's just another Suffocation, but their songs are so fucking catchy and memorable on the first listen, which there are bands that do that. There's tons of bands. Like for example, one disc that I thought was fucking great for me, it was first time is I just brought them up. The band Dark Creed. They just did one full length. Their second full length. Metal Cry says it's a full length, but it's like all a bunch of cover songs and shit. Doesn't even sound anything like it. It's like Dark Creed, and the album's called Dark Regions. It sounds like just pure Swedish death metal from the early '90s, and they're from Mexico. But their songs, right out the gate, I'm like, this is catchy as fuck and super memorable. Like for me, it was. That stood out. It wasn't anything original. So you got to have that. You can't just be playing fucking just the typical fucking just death metal guitar tone, vocals, and just throwing some blasts there, and then some slow down parts, and then a fucking mid pace fucking, I guess, thrash beat. That's not going to fucking work for the most part. Again, the people that are going to get into that is the young devils where they're not too familiar with death metal yet, and they just so happen to stumble across that on first because, especially with social media now, they're attached to their Facebook or they're on their Instagram or they stumble across it on YouTube, and it's just that's what fell into their lap first before hearing something like Left Hand Path or whatever. You know what I mean? So to them, it's equally as good or whatever, and I get that. I do. I understand that, but for someone like myself, and you'll get there too, is that's not going to be the case unless the songs are super stand out. But I mean, the thing is, again, like that doesn't mean just because the old ones are automatically better. It's just like I always said, no matter where you are, and that you're gonna like what you heard first. So the 18-year-olds now that are listening to Two Mold Fluids, fucking 200 Stab Wounds, and all those bands, they're getting into those bands. Those are the first bands they're hearing very early on at 18 years old. 20 years from now, whatever fucking bands are new in 20 years and doing the same thing again, they're going to think fucking Two Mold and shit's the best still, because that's just kind of what they heard first. And I 100% get that. I don't, it just is what it is. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It is what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so that's kind of my take on that. But anyways, devils, that's it for this one. You know what to do. Comments, questions, concerns, leave them in the goddamn comment section and get them fucking answered first thing in the morning. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.